Hello, my friends. My name is DadCraft73, and welcome back to another episode of One Man, One Mod, where we're trying to learn everything that we can about both blood magic and forestry bees. And that's what we're going to work on today, sorta. So I have these snares. We're going to go out and about. I need to find some different bees. I want to make a little more progress on our bee breeding operation here. So I've just been cycling these through a couple times, and we spent most of yesterday's episode across the way there at our blood magic altar. Now I just bred up my cows a little bit. We're going to come back to them here in a minute. But I wanted to see if we couldn't go roaming around a little bit and find some other types of bees other than meadows. That's what we've been finding. We've been finding tons of meadows bees out here in the plains, which makes perfect sense. So I think what we'll do is go over here to this little forest, and we're going to see if we can find something else other than meadows. We're looking for white, combs or hives. Hives. That's the word that I'm trying to say. So let's go up here and see. Hope you guys are having a good day. Today is, I guess it's Monday, Christmas Eve, right? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I don't really see much. Let's go down here, maybe. Oh, that's one thing I need is a chicken. Hi. Okay, just one. I need a feather. All right, let's go. So there's another meadows hive over there. I really need something besides meadows. I want a forest hive is what I want. So let's go through here and see if we can't find one. They're usually like in the trees. Wow. That's weird. Okay. Not those kind. That's a beehive from... There's one. That's what we need right there. So they're white. One of these guys right here is what we need. So we will hit the smoker till it does its deal, and then we'll scoop them out. Okay. So now we have a forest princess, forest drone, and a honeycomb. Let's see if we can't find a couple more. And then today, we're going to start breeding bees. So, if you go online and look up various, like, tutorials or things like that that might tell you how to do bees, you hear the term hive bees thrown around a good bit. I don't really need those. I mean, we can get them. And when you hear the term hive bees, what they're talking about are bees that come out of a hive, just like these. So just regular bees, not bred at all. So just straight from a hive is what they're talking about. I guess we could go up in that frozen part and see if we could find some of those wintry bees that are up there. Or even the... Oh, let's go over here to this dark oak forest real quick and see what we can find over there. So the bee breeding process always starts with hive bees. So just straight up bees out of hives that you're going to find in your world if you've got forestry installed in your game. And it doesn't matter which one you start with. A hive bee is a hive bee. So for instance, if you're a startup in the desert biome and you've got desert bees, what are those, like modest or whatever those are, in the desert, use those. If you start off in like some crazy jungle and you've got sort of like jungle type bees running around, hey, there's a spiderweb tree, that's cool, use those. If you've got, or tropical, I guess, go in the jungle. If you're in the forest like we are right now, use forest bees. But you do need two different types, so you can't just get away with having one. You've actually got to have two. Two different types of bees. So you may have to do some traveling around and see. We haven't found... There's also these marshy hives here in the swamp, but I would really just like one more. If I could get one more hive, we could at least start the breeding process today, and then we could talk about how this whole thing works. I will say, you really want to have one of the bee breeding mods in your mod pack that you're playing. breeding bees like organically without the use of some sort of helper mod, I'm gonna tell you what, is no joke. It's a lot of work, and it's time consuming, and it's frustrating, and yeah, it's a lot of work. So be prepared. Be prepared. We're going to spend a little bit of time on it, and you'll be able to see how, I guess, tedious is maybe the word. Oh, there's one. I saw the bees flying around. Okay, let's get one more, and then we're going to head on out of here. Perfect. Okay, so we have some pristine. We've got 3 pristines and 1 ignoble. And remember, pristine means it can live forever, and it'll just keep breeding and breeding over and over again. And a ignoble means eventually, throughout the breeding process, that princess is going to, or the queen, whenever it will not produce a princess. So essentially that strain or that line of bees will die off if you're using an ignoble princess. Pristine, it'll just keep living forever and ever. Okay. Alright, let us head back towards our base. And then we will see what we can do about these crazy bees. Oh, there's some sand. I should probably grab that as I'm heading over there. Perfect. Okay. There's some clay, or that's actually sand. I think I'm okay. If I could avoid going to a desert, I will do so. But if I can't, I can't. No, I think we're good. I mean, I think eventually we're going to have to probably come out here and find more bees. But I think we have enough to at least start that process today. It's good. So I think while you guys are watching this video, I think I'm going to be out with my family running around looking at Christmas lights at houses, stuff like that. There's a couple of neighborhoods that like go like all completely crazy, and we always like to go check them out. Let's see where we're at relationship to our house. Yeah, we just have to go over this way. I've said like 3 or 4 times now that we want to put a waypoint down, and I never do it. So it's another episode where we haven't done a waypoint. Be quiet, donkey. Wow, I have tons of cows. I need to get a piece of leather from one of these cows. Great. Really open to. There, that's all I need. I don't want to use my sword because I don't want him to go like to do that slash thing where we damage a bunch of them. Okay, we're gonna let that ride. I need to get those finished, so I'm gonna just I need to do a couple things. So first of all, let's grab a chest and bring it out here, and then just set it out here for now, just to hold bee things, right? And I'll put all these bee guys in here like that. Yep, those can all go in there. And I can also get like this honeycomb. Yeah, and stick that in there too. Okay, good. Alright, now that we have this piece of leather, let's find a little bit of sugar cane. Half of that will be good. Let's make some paper, and we'll make a book. Okay, and then we need to make a book called Sanguine. Yeah, so this guy right here, Sanguine Scientium. That's the blood magic sort of like guidebook. So we need a piece of glass, a feather, and a book. Let me see. Do we have a piece of glass? Do we have one piece of glass kicking around here somewhere? Or we're gonna have to smell. Ah, we do. Okay, beautiful. All right, let's make the book. If you haven't made a blood magic book, you probably want to. Oh, here's the other thing I need to make, so you guys will stop harassing me in the comments. 1, 2. Okay. That way, like, something won't follow me in the house and cause problems. Yeah, okay. All right, so we made the blood magic book. We're just waiting for those bees to finish up out there, and we'll come right back to it. So we do need to do some of this stuff. Yeah, I'm hoping I can get to it today, and I think we'll have the ability to do so. My name is Vlad Highborn, and I'm a blood mage. I've studied the intricate workings of alchemy and the process of equivalent exchange, which governs all aspects of magic. Basically, you cannot create something from nothing, although many have tried when searching for a particular stone. That obviously didn't end well because people are clamoring for a fake variant even today. Yeah, something from nothing. Gold out of whatever, I think is what he's talking about. Of course, simply saying that I am an alchemist isn't enough, because one of the main things I do is study blood magic with the ritual master and the architect, both of whom have achieved those titles by their own merits. Magus and Tiberius have been busy recording their own works over the years, although I don't think Magus has everything written down in a book. I've yet to find any actual proof. Blah, 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 blah. But for now, I hope you enjoy my research notes. You shan't find any lies between these covers. Okay, so that's that. We want to go here. Arcane Ash, which is, I think, is what we're going to try to work with today. Arcane Ash is necessary in order to create alchemy arrays, powerful circles that are able to provide various effects. This ash is crafted using the Hellfire Forge and Demon Will. Okay, so we're going to work on that here in a little bit. So if you don't have one of these books, make sure you make one ASAP. It's going to help you throughout your journey to become a blood mage, I guess. Let's go see what's going on with our bees. Almost done. Okay. You'll see we're getting a couple more flowers around here that we didn't have before. Those are starting to populate up there and down there. Wherever else we're getting flowers. Those are definitely from the bees. There'll be more and more of these here as we sort of move along throughout the process. Okay, so let's look at while we're waiting for those bees, let's look at the Hellfire Forge. It's pretty simple. We need a block of iron, we need some stone, we need some iron, we need some gold. Alright, so nothing too crazy here. We have gold, we have the iron. We need 1, 2 more. We need the gold, and then we need what? Stone. Which, I thought I had some stone. Yes. Okay. Alright, so let's put this in here, and these guys can go... No. Oh, that's it. I just need to do that. Okay. I don't know why that's not smelted up. Do you have a piece of copper? Yeah. Or coal? Yeah. Put that in there. How are you doing? Gold. Gold is good. Let's grab that. Let's go here. Let's make a block of iron. Okay. And then we should be able to make the Hellfire Forge. Yep. Alright, so this is our second sort of item that we need to use with blood magic. It's got like a crazy interface, but it's actually pretty simple. It's nothing too crazy. And I think the first thing we need to make is this thing called Arcane Ash. It's going to tell us what the recipe. You will describe a simple circle out of ash. If you click on the ash again with an item, it will be placed inside, and then we can do stuff. Let's see. Okay. So, items shown are the order. Okay, so what I want to make is, where's the sigil? Is it the... One of the many problems that you may encounter in the beginning of your ventures is the ability to keep your furnace lit. A lit furnace can mean the difference between having a full stomach and a strong... pretty much need a heat source for any nearby furnace by placing an array directly adjacent to another person. Wow. Huh, that's pretty cool. We'll work on that in a second. But what I really want is... I want this, but I want... There are these things with blood magic called sigils. And I want a divination sigil. So it says I need arcane ash, and then I need... a blank slate and some redstone. So I need arcane ashes, and arcane ashes in the thing are gunpowder, bone meal, charcoal, and gunpowder. Okay, so let's go. It feels like it's getting night. How are my bees doing? Almost done? Yes, okay, they're actually done. Okay, let's finish this up, and then we're going to come right back to bees. Let's eat something. Okay. So we need a piece of gunpowder, which we should have, yes. We need some bone meal, which we can get pretty easily. We need a piece of redstone, which we have. And we also need a piece of charcoal. And we're also going to need this demon will thing that we have. It's got a little bit of will in it. All right, so if we go over here, right, and we put this guy in there, okay? And then we put in, let's make bone meal. Let's put this, one of these, and oh, hold on. Didn't I get coal out of here? All right, and we put that in there. This thing's gonna drain the will out of this thing, and then it's gonna craft. And there we go. We have arcane ashes now. And it it doesn't use any will to make arcane ashes. Good to go. And if we want to make the divination sigil, we need an alchemy array, and we're going to put redstone in there and a blank slate. And that's going to give us the divination sigil, which we'll do in just a second. We need to actually make one of those. Let's go start cooking up some stone. And then we're going to get back into bees, because that's really what our focus is today. We need cobblestone, and we need 8 of these. Okay, you guys can go in there. That's the wrong slate. I'll bring these with me and that. Okay. Okay, let's put all these in here. All right, now let's talk about bee breeding. Okay, so JEI, if you've got JEI bees, let's see. So we have some meadows bees, right? So we have a meadows princess. So it tells us where we get them, right? You know, whatever, doesn't really matter. But we want to know what we can use these guys for. Okay, so we have bee breeding right here. So the first thing that we can do is we can take a forest and a meadows, and we should get a common bee. All right, you can also take meadows and modest, meadows and tropical, meadows and wintry, marshy. We were talked about that earlier. It doesn't matter what kind of bee you start with. Now, there are some other like high-end bees. Leporine, tipsy, rural, dirty. We're not going to be messing with any of those today. There's also cultivated. But we're going to try to start and get ourselves to a common bee. So we need a forest bee. It could be either a princess or a drone. And a meadows. Okay? So let us go and get... Let's go here and let's get one of those and one of these. Okay. And then we want a drone. Let's get 2 drones, 2 of these. We want another one of these. Doesn't really matter what. Okay. All right. So you are a meadows princess, and I'm going to give you a drone. Okay. We're going to take these out. You are a meadows princess, and I'm going to give you this other drone. Okay. You, meadows princess, are going to come with me. You're a forest princess, and I'm going to give you a meadows drone. And then over here, you are also going to be a forest princess, and I'm going to give you a meadows drone. Okay. And then we can put the rest of these guys away. Okay. And now we're crossbreeding, right? So we're crossbreeding forest and meadows, either from a meadows princess or a meadows drone with a hive princess or hive drone. Okay. Or plains, not hive. Okay. All right. We're going to pick this up. We're going to take this with us. All right. So let's head over to our... let's grab some of this stone. How much is 16 is done? That's going to be good enough for now. Let's now, we're going to come back to that in just a second. We're going to let those do their deal. Let's head over here to where our bees are. We're actually going to do something really quick. I talked about doing this the other day, and then I just haven't. I want to make a boat just so we can get across that little bit of water over there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Should be enough. Like that. Get a boat. Okay. We also want to stop by our bee area and put this, nope, not that, that in there. Okay. How are these guys doing? They're working. So we're going to come back and we're going to hope that we get a common bee. Now, there's only a 15% chance. So we have 4 deals going on. So, you know, we have a better than average chance of actually getting the right kind of bee. But we may have to just keep that process rolling and do it again and see if we can't get a common bee. What we really want is a common princess, and then hope that we can get a full set of common bees, so a princess and a drone, and then start mass producing common drones, right? By cycling them over and over and over again through. And that's what we're hoping for, but we'll have to wait and see what we get. It's completely random, and it is what it is. So you either win or you don't win. It's just how that thing works. Okay, we didn't have to use any... We didn't have to go across on our boat. Okay, let's put our Hellfire Forge down. Oh, did I bring a piece of redstone? No. Dang it. Okay, we do have our Arcane Ash, but what I really wanted to do over here is I want to take one of those and put it there. You, sir, are going to... Yeah. Okay. Now, we got to be a little careful. So, there's multiple layers to this thing. So we want the blank slate. If we leave it in there, it'll just infuse further and turn into the reinforced slate, right? So we want the blank slate. Now I just need a piece of redstone, which I meant to bring with me and I didn't. So let's go back and get it real quick. And hopefully we can make this divination sigil in today's episode. That would be amazing. I could go off camera, but, you know, whatever. We'll just run over here together. It's not that big of a deal. It's not that far. It's like 150 blocks or whatever. Not too bad to get back over here. We're going to need to sleep through the night anyway, so we might as well do that. Bees have all these traits. We need to make a machine, and we're not quite ready to make it yet, but we will. Bees have all these traits, and one of the traits that they have is nocturnal. And I think, if I remember correctly, like bees from the end have the nocturnal trait, which means they work all through the night. Hive bees, or meadows, and at least meadows and forest bees, they are what you call diurnal, which means they work during the day. They don't work at night. Let's grab some of that. Okay. So let's just go check on them real quick before we head back over here. Yeah, they're taking care of business. How are you guys doing? Yeah, I know. You're getting packed up in that crate, but that's just kind of the way it's going to be. Alright, let's head back over to our deal, and we're going to see if we can't fire up this ash stuff on the ground and get us a divination sigil. And as soon as I make it, you'll know exactly why we made it. Because we need it. Okay. How about we actually take our boat this time? Okay. Even though we don't have far to go, we still can get pretty close. Where do we get off this thing at? Oh my goodness, we're driving all around. Okay, we'll go right here. Okay. Let's go down into our little deal here. I love this mechanic to draw these circles on the ground. It's amazing. I think it looks really good. Okay. So we're going to go down here. And we'll just find a spot. It doesn't have to be anywhere like too crazy. Like we can do it right here. Alright. So we right click on the ground and we get this little circle. Alright. And then we need to put in one of these and one of these. Okay. So we're going to go like this. And like that. And then it's going to start spinning and doing stuff. Look, it comes up off the ground. It's awesome. We get cool, like, messages and stuff. And then as soon as it's done its cycle, we get the divination sigil. And the cool thing about the divination sigil is it tells us... Whoops. Yep. So if we shift right-click on... Oh, get this thing out of my... Shift right-click. It tells us how much LP. So 2468. So if we go like that, and we go like this... Right. Should tell if there's more. Okay. So it tells us there is 10,000 blood inside our tier 2 altar, right? You can see up there in the upper left-hand corner. It tells you what tier the altar is. It also tells us how much essence that we have, how much LP that we've got stored in our own like private little network. So if we go like that, you can see now we're adding to that because we're pulling blood out of the altar and we're putting in our little stone thing there. That's all going to become very, very important down the road because we're going to need certain amounts of LP to do things. Like if we make a sigil that gives us haste, for example, it's going to pull life essence out of this blood orb to kind of drive it. Does that make sense? I hope so. So this is really cool because now we can just go right over the top and see exactly how much we have. So for example, if I want to make a bunch more of these things, right, let's get an empty hand. Make a bunch more of these like tier 2 slates. We can actually take a look here. You can see it draining, right? It's draining out. And then eventually it will stop. Yeah, it'll change. Okay, and now, oh, it's still blank. Dang it. Let's go get these guys. Please be quiet, phone. Gotta wait till it changes color. There we go. And now we have another one of these reinforced slates, which conversely, or strangely enough, we need for the next level of altar. So if we take a look at our book real quick, not only does it tell us, if we go back here, the architect is what we want. So divination sigil is just what we made. When you right-click a blood altar with a sigil, you can see the amount of the tier. Let's see. The sigil is created to use a piece of redstone. Okay, that's what we just made. We've also got upgrading your altar. Okay, so as you slowly go through the mod, you'll slowly learn that the humble blood altar before you is not powerful enough to fulfill all your true ambitions. By placing special blocks known as blood runes around the altar, you are able to expand the altar's strength, significantly unlocking higher tiers of recipes, as well as allowing you to augment the abilities of the altar. To upgrade the altar to its second tier, you need to place 8 blood runes around the altar and 1 level lower. If you're confused about the precise configuration, the item Inspectoris Scandalum can tell you the precise requirement or placement. Although a blank rune is fine for simply getting your altar upgrade up and running, to a higher tier, it is advantage to use upgrade runes for your altar. Each of the runes in a blood altar may be swapped out for any upgrade rune. The only exception to this is that at tier 2, you cannot use the corner runes as upgrade runes. Tier 3 onwards, you can use these. So what it's telling us is here in this first tier, like our tier 2 altar, I mean, there's tier 1, this is tier 2. We can't use like special runes here on the corners in a tier 2. We can only replace 4 of those runes. That's essentially what that guy is telling us. There are rumors, or these are runes that affect the speed of crafting, the capacity of the altar, as well as the efficiency of sacrificing at the altar. These runes can be found in their respective entries. So if we go back and let's see. So we have a bunch of Okay, we don't care about that right now. So, for instance, the Rune of Sacrifice. So this tells us what it does. The Rune of Sacrifice, as the name may imply, increases the yield of all activities that sacrifice the health of mobs in return for LP. Each rune provides a 10% increase in yield additively. So that's kind of cool. So I think we're going to probably try to make some of these if we can. We're probably going to do that next time. I do want to go back and check our bees really quick. We'll just leave this here. Everything's good. We're going to come back in tomorrow's episode and do a little bit more work on the blood altar. But I wanted to at least make that divination sigil because it tells us how much LP, when we're just rolling around, we've got stored inside our blood orb. So we can use it for stuff. And we'll get to the point where we actually need it for use that LP for different things. And you'll see exactly how that works. So think about that LP that's stored inside the weak blood orb as like a personal bank or storage, or a battery, for example. Maybe this is a better way to look at it. A battery of life points that get stored in your network that you can use however you want to. And then the amount of blood that's actually in the altar equates to just pure blood that can be used for different things. Okay, let's take a look. Bees. Okay, so we ran through our first cycle and we didn't get anything good. So all we're going to do is repeat that process again, right? Forest, meadows. Okay? Forest, meadows. Oh, look. Yeah. Okay. So forest, meadows. We're going to do this again. But we did get a common drone. Now, common drones are cool, but we really need a common princess. So we've essentially did our first level of bee breeding. That's pretty rare to get that on our first go round. But we'll see what we end up getting the second time through, and maybe we'll get lucky. What we're really looking for is a common princess. Before we jump back into blood magic next episode, we have another forestry machine that we're going to have to create that goes that coincides with bees. It's called the centrifuge. We're going to have to create one of those, and then we're going to create another tool that we're going to need to do more bee stuff. So until then, please remember to be cool. Don't be a fool. And from my One Man, One Mod series, where this time we're looking at 2 mods, forestry, bees, and blood magic. I guess we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.